Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Link Best Randomizer Week 6 here of the Link Best Season 6 League. Oh, it's gonna be a long one, folks, as we have Cross Keys Week. How's it going, folks? I am Wolfling070, and I am going to be solo commentating this. And on the left, we have Amish Paradise, represented by Damper Wormman. And on the right, we have Roomies, represented by Artie Wall. So, Cross Keys is not an easy mode for me to solo. I'm gonna just say that right now, because it is key standing like we've had in the last couple weeks, and there is no extra restrictions here. So all those big keys, small keys, maps, they're all shuffled around the world. But that's not all that is shuffled, because we also have cross-world entrance shuffle. And what that means is that we could exit at Link's house as normal, but when we go to, like, the next cave over, it could just be a link to the Twins' house. And then when we go across the Twins' house, we can just appear in Dark World suddenly. And all the dungeon locations are also shuffled, so we have to figure out where our dungeons are, where all the keys are for those dungeons, and all the items we need for those right crystals. This is also going to be a 100% location, so everything will be made available to us, I believe. And I don't remember if this is fast scan or not, actually. This could be fast scanning, which would be nice. Anyway, we're going to get started here. And we get a heart piece to start with on Artie Walsh. And our sanctuary is not too far away. And yes, we got confirmation that it is in fact fast Ganon, so we don't have to go up Aga Tower. So Artie Walsh can start with a hula hand. Pretty smart. Getting some extra money early off. So one thing I should clarify here is there are 3 unique rules to the entrance shuffle that we need to cover here. First and foremost is we're going to see a lot of people checking the entrance here. As we saw there, that is the drop down for Ganon, so we know Ganon's in the grave. So when we get our go mode all taken care of, we can go to the graveyard and we'll get to Ganon. And the reason why we know that is because the drop down holes are all shuffled into one of their pools. That's one of the special rules. So once we have all those, they can only be accounted for so much. So there is potentially an item cave at Pyramid. Here we have the drop down of Lost Woods, and it does have a small key that we may need. The second rule is that Link's house will always be Link's house, which makes it a little bit more convenient as we find the Cave Safa Grove here at the Lumberjack's house. And what's in the Lumberjack house? Alright, so we just saw Lumberjack Cave was Lumberjack, so that's actually something interesting. But yeah, the second rule is Link's house will always be Link's house in this, so there is pretty much a static starting point that'll apply to no matter what randomization we have. And the third one actually involves that room we just saw, the bar. The bar's back entrance is the only one we enter from above, from a north to south entryway. So it's the only one that cannot be shuffled, so the bar is always in the same place. So that's another guaranteed item. There we go with the map of Hyrule Castle. Unfortunately, that one is not that useful. And yeah, no key can lock itself here, so there's no rule in play for that. And there's the hammer and Uncle. Very nice find there. And a sword! Alright. Dapper Wormman getting equipped. And that was how the Lost was dropped down. Unfortunately, Artie Walsh just found the Old May Cave, and I believe that was at the Lake Hylia entrance. So that save and quit point is not really going to be that valuable. But the exit entrance might. And it's in the dark, so we'll just give us a moment here. Oh! Puts us on the Turtle Rock Bridge. And that leads us to a shop to buy bombs. That works. That works, I guess. Just an extended way to get to bombs. Also, I kind of like the sprite selection here between the two runners here. It's the Battle of the Guards. We have the classic green guard here, and we have the bullhorn guard on the right. And Kakariko here is a hotspot of entrances, so there's going to be a lot of entrances checked here. Meanwhile, we get a big key to Skull Woods. That is a big key we do not necessarily need. It only locks a singular item. Compass of Dark Palace and 20 rubies, meanwhile, on the left. So, real quick, I should talk about how Key Sanity works for those who may not know from tuning in for the first time. Key Sanity is basically a mode where all of the dungeon items, specifically this map, big key, small keys, maps, and compasses, they're shoveled out of the world. And the maps and compasses get some extra functionality in this mode. Maps give us information on what dungeon prize is available in that dungeon, be it a pendant or crystal. Normally we can just check our map and we get that information automatically, but that is actually hidden from us. The 5 and 6 crystals and the green pendant, meanwhile, you talk to the respective NPCs and they'll always give it to you. As we find a Gina here from Roldy Walsh. Compasses, meanwhile, they'll only show us the item count of the dungeon, as we have the small key to Desert Palace. That is a singular small key, so a good find there. And the maps and the compasses also have functionality in Boss Shuffle, which I believe is going to be next week's racing, if not the week after. I don't have the schedule in front of me. But when you have the compass, it tells you what the boss is at the end of the dungeon. But I don't think that week's going to be Key Sanity. So, if it's back compass shovel, I'm not sure how that works. There's Ice Palace, though, found by Artie Walsh, and there's the Stam. And a lamp. And that's just a storyteller cave. The nice thing about all of the caves in Link to the Past is that if you know them well enough, you can tell what they are just by entering them once. So that cave, that has a very unique entrance, so that is exclusively just a storyteller cave. That cave was in the dark, but didn't have... So that was either the old man cave or just a connector, which we don't care about. This, I believe, is the way up the mountain. It's another pathway cave. So yeah, there's a lot of information you can glean just from this start of it. Now, there is actually a fourth rule which I did forget about regarding the entrance shuffle, and that is the old man. The old man's exit point cave will always be on the west, will always be on Death Mountain somewhere, so that you can turn him in. I want to say it's specifically West Death Mountain, as you find the flippers there. And there's Hookshot Cave found in the Sicket's house. Meanwhile, Pyramid Fairy. Big key to Thieves Down. That is a big key we need. Because that you can't get to the back half of the dungeon without it. And the blacksmiths for us today have... Okay, that is Spectral Rock Cave. It's got the item there, but that's fine. And we get a drop down here. He knows he can do this drop down safely because he knows where Gan is. Unfortunately, this looks like it's... Yeah, the fairy cave, which is absolutely useless. And all other caves that have drop downs have an item, so... Best case scenario, we're looking at Hyrule Castle drop down. Oh no, we know where Hyrule Castle is. The drop down is for that. Ooh, so it could very well be the well on the pyramid, which is locking 4 items behind Aghanim 2. That's not ideal. Alright, so there's the Gina down for Devon Wormman. That money coming into play, seeing the merchant here. It's a small key to Thieves Town, so combined with what we have, if we find Thieves Town, we can full clear it. Well, with an asterisk. Something that's kind of a weird, interesting quirk about not having a Moon Pearl for Dark World dungeons is that if you get hit by one of those bunny beams, you just stay a bunny. Even if you're in the light world, it's considered a light world dungeon because of where it is in the map. So if they get hit by the bunny beam, they pretty much have to die in order to reset their state. Or leave the dungeon outright, which could be problematic. Only a hard container on race game, which is sometimes something you not really think about, but with entrance shovel, you might have to mirror there. And that's something else as well, so we might need the mirror to go to the balconies. Okay, that's emergency exit cave, I know that one. So Daverworman now cleaning up the checks that Walsh has done, and vice versa. So Walsh will be getting his sword and hammer here, and eventually we'll find out where Ganon is. So not a lot to work with this early on. There's still a lot of entries to check, though. This is a lot of information being gathered, and you can kind of break down cross keys in like 3 primary phases. This is probably the one I can talk about the easiest. We're in the information phase right now, where we're just checking entrances, trying to get a lay of the land here and see which ways go where we can go, and just figure out what we can do with what entrances we know are available, as we find the sick kid there in, I believe that was the Lost Woods. No, actually, no, it wasn't in Lost Woods, was it? Oh, it was somewhere else. Howard Castle Front, thank you. It's really hard to keep these entrances in my head here. Thankfully, I have a second set of eyes here in Kif, who is the tracker tonight. Much thanks to him for helping me stay honest up here. It's gonna be a long night. But yeah, the second phase, as I was mentioning, would probably be the item collection phase, where they're trying to get everything they need for Go Mode at that point. They've got all the information they need regarding where all the dungeons are and all that. And then, of course, the third phase is obviously Go Mode. Which, in this case, there's sort of like 3 different stages of Go Mode here. You need to have the information of where all your crystal dungeons are. You need to have all the items you need, and then you also need to have all the keys. So, it can get pretty complex. It's in the later stages, trying to figure out what piece of the puzzle you're still missing. And it could realistically be any one of them, depending on how things go. Alright, this entrance is normally a fairy fountain, but today it is Super Bunny Cave! Ooh. Okay, so this is not only 2 items at the end of this. It is also a connector. So this could take us to Death Mountain. It could take us to Dark World. I could just take us to the top of Hyrule Castle. We don't know where this is going. And a small key to Ice Palace, and 3 bombs. The thing is, though, both runners are committed to wherever this comes out. It's the top of Dark Death Mountain. Now, it should be noted that doing bunny walks like this in Dark World may be required to find the Moon Pearl. That was the Waterfall of Happiness, or Fountain of Happiness. And there's Blind's hideout, so there's 5 items there, but they can't get it as a bunny. So it might be one of our dark room connectors that are the answer here. Both runners running south. That's another benefit of flooding the dam here, is that once the dam gets emptied, you don't have to touch it again, which is a benefit of playing the Crossworld. And right away we find the entrance of Desert Palace. This is good because it's a couple items with that small key, but more importantly, it's also connectors. 2 of them, in fact. But Dapper Wormhead's not going in. He's going somewhere else. Small key to Dark Palace, 1 of 6, meanwhile. Checking out the Mini Moldorm Cave entrance. And that one leads to... oh, the left side of Hyrule Castle. Just like Desert Palace, another 2 entrances to check. But also a bunch of items. So both runners finding some good value here. Unfortunately, Walsh's exit on the right side of Desert Palace led right back up to the top of the mountain. If you can say it, I think he's, yeah, okay. He's dodging these. Maybe he's playing nicely. He's gonna head over to West Death Mountain here to check these entrances. He might get some extra information here. Just a shot. One of repeats, meanwhile, for Dapper Wormman. And the last entrance here is another shop. Okay, so West Dark Death Mountain is not in play at all. And now for the only big key that doesn't get shuffled, which is the one on this guard here. Alright, we're getting Eastern Palace area check from Artie Walsh after that. Check where K found, nothing important there. And Dapper Wormman's gonna go entrance diving here. Surprised he doesn't go to Dark Cross. Empty house for Artie Walsh inside Oslo's place. And, oh, that's bad. The center entrance is to Village of Outcasts, but because he stepped into Dark World, he's going to stay a bunny for the rest of his time in Hyrule Castle. Thankfully, a quick difference. Sorry, got a little tickle in my throat there. But yeah, quick death warp and he's back to normal. Small key to Castle Tower in Dark Palace. Castle Tower, not a great one to see, but fine. Then a couple heart pieces to give him his 4th heart container at long last. Oh my! That's unfortunate for Dapper Wormman. Ouch. He got himself low for the death warp, but Keith said no. Oh, that does not feel good. Alright, looks like Kingston was found meanwhile by Artie Walsh, and it is the big key to Tower Hera. Oh wow, if he was setting up for a death warp, he would have just been completely denied there. Oh! Ah, that's also why he died. He's technically coming from a Dark World entrance, so the bats are currently Dark World bats. So they deal a ridiculous amount of damage. And unfortunately that is Mimic Cave exit, so that is useless. Alright, where is Dapper Wormman going? Alright, gonna see what's in the Waterfall of Happiness entrance. And today, it is the left entrance of the Desert Palace. So now we know where all the Desert Palace entrances go, which is unfortunate. Alright, so it's going to be a little back and forth here for just a moment. Alright, so where are they gonna go next? I have to think it's one of the dark entrances. Alright, where is Dapper Wormman gonna go? He should be the first one to tread new ground here. I'll go about the corner there. I think this was the sick kid's house. No, it's just a shop. Never mind. It's hard to keep track of all these entrances here. Alright, a new check here coming up. I don't think we've seen men under the bridge yet. And almost getting sniped by that guard. Full arcade is always nice. Oh, yes, the new checks here from Dapper Warman, I believe. So we're going up to an area lovely called the Shopping Mall, which is just a very clustered dense cluster rather of entrances. And today we get the top of Paradox Cave. A bow of Thieves Town. Where was Thieves Town? Wait a minute, I was not looking at over on Dapper Warman on Walsh's side. Warman finds Eastern. Thank you, chat. I see that. Waterfall Ferry was the location. I'm going to say this once again, chat. Thank you for being my eyes and ears here. This is a mode that could easily miss something. And apparently my words are stumbling again. This is a very easy mode to miss something, so I do appreciate all your extra eyes and ears. Thank you very much. Alright, so front half didn't look like it had anything major. I think we did see a small key there, or a big key. I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot of checks happening now simultaneously here. We get a small key on the Skull Woods on Dapper Warman's side. Walsh, meanwhile, going to be heading into Thieves Town's backside. Can Folk clear this dungeon? The only drawback to Thieves Town right now is we don't have the map, so we don't know if this is a pendant or a crystal, but hey, a full clear dungeon is a full clear dungeon at this point. And as you can see, there's the compass in effect over on Dapper Warman's side, giving us the item count there below the bombs and rupees. That's a Meyer, so some more information once we find our Dark World access. Which in this sea could just be the Pearl. That's all we need. So the small key to the Gans Tower for Dapper Warman. About a big key, that's all he can do. So into Paradise Cave, and a bottle of the gold bee was found by Walsh, and he's using it to great effect there, using it to kill the Baris. Pod map for Dapper Warman. Meanwhile, 10 arrows for Walsh. Another small hit of Dark Palace. Armor upgrade. Park container. Another map to Thieves Town, and another 20 rupees. So another nice thing that we have about the map that comes is here. This is unique to any mode, or not unique to any specific mode. Is once Dapper Merman goes into the dungeon, he will know if it is a pendant or a crystal. Oh, but coming out of Turtle Rock, yikes! Alright, Dapper Merman on the move. And good blind kill from Artie Walsh. Picking up the hook shot off of that, and a crystal to boot. Alright. First blood here to Artie Walsh here in this match. It has taken us nearly 30 minutes to find a singular dungeon to beat, and Dapper Merman's about to find it. Alright, Zora money is there, and there's a shovel. Ooh. Ah, there was that bottle. It was in Thieves Town. Must have missed it when I was looking away. Alright, what's King Zora got? The mirror! A very important item in Cross Keys. So no Merpool yet, but now we can do bunny walks. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, I think I know what Walsh's next move is. Oh, I think that those entrances we found to East Dark Death Mountain are just about to come into play in a big way. First, the shovel check. So, with the mirror now in play, Walsh can just take one of the connectors that he knows takes him to the floating island, and then just mirror to get the floating island item, and then he can just go back in the Dark World. But there's the Moon Pearl. Oh my goodness! All right, Zora had all the goods. All right, Moon Pearl and Mirror. That's everything you really want for Dark World access. And yeah, Walsh is most likely heading to Dark World via Floating Island now. I think, at least I think it was this way. I don't remember. Yeah, heading to Hookshot Cave over here, looks like. Magic powder, good find. Small key to... Oh! Well, I'm going to just say this. Be glad Aghanim does not require us to be beating this seed. Because that's the second small key to Aga Tower. And here's another saving grace. We don't know where Aga Tower is. Alright, the top of Hookshot Cave leads out to the mountain, which we're going to mirror and immediately start investigating. Treasure chest cave found. Nice first chest there, giving him back his money and then some. That's a good game knowledge right there. Using a bomb so that he does not enter the portal. Unfortunately, it's a trade-off. This is now one way, but it's fine. Two fairy fountains right next to each other. That's unfortunate. What's in this cave? Just the bottom of this mountain is just a bunch of fairies. That's funny. And that's Bumper Cave, I believe. It is a connector that we can take, but without the cape, it's useless. At least from that end. Last cave over here. And it is the wrong side of Ice Rod Cave. That's the side that has the good bee. And away we go. One of these engines over here will be the old man rescue. Also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but in case you're wondering why the music sounds so weird and a lot of brassy, that's because that Deformant is in fact using a MSU pack, a Link to the Brass. So it's the OST, but used on exclusively brass instruments. Okay, that's actually kind of nice swagger there on Dapper Wormhead's part, just throwing the boomerang for no reason other than just to have it float in front of him. Okay, here's the old man drop down. I think it's actually in his cave, so he just still leave the cave. Okay, not quite, but close enough. Don't pay attention to the old man, by the way. Just, yeah, don't worry about him. He just clips to the wall, so fine. Dapper Wormman now with his mirror. Soon to be getting a shovel, which will lead to his Moon Pearl. Walsh getting absolutely bombarded with boulders as he finds the gambling hut. Alright. Nothing else seemingly here on West Step Mountain. He's gonna be able to check what's in the Tower of Hera entrance, though. Honestly, I like that on there. This really is Fairy Mountain, this seed. Just all the fairy fountains are on Death Mountain. Okay, so Tower Hera is the entrance to Turtle Rock. We can't go that way, but that's still good to know. More ideally, you want to find the entrance to Laser Bridge and just go from there. Ah, it's the hospital's house. This is just a free connector. Let's see where this goes. And it's the cave south of Grove. So I think the only... Yeah, I think we had to mirror walk there unless we found the entrance to the Old Man Cave. Oh no, this one could have been an entrance too. Never mind. This one leads to... Well, that's not helpful. Okay, yeah, so I think the only way you could get there is if you found the one Dark Worm entrance that leads to Old Man. Or just mirror from the Dark World. I think the mirror from Dark World is the more likely way. Alright. So where do our runners need to go next? Or do you also gonna mirror and get the item here? Small key to Ice Palace. I really believe that is the second small key. I could be wrong. It is almost to open up Turtle Rock. Not that we need to. We know that is a connector leading to, I think it was Hyrule Castle. Or was it Desert? It was one of the two. Okay, this is big. Walsh has found the back door to Turtle Rock, getting straight to Laser Bridge, and there's our first glove. Only an entrance would you find a glove in Turtle Rock. As we back to Eastern Palace. A little bit more spending money. Brewery chest, 20 rupees, and the last chest of Laser Bridge is a small key to Tower Hera. Big key to Turtle Rock found. And the Balmos Medallion. And also the map to Ice Palace. So the Balmos Medallion does put Ice Palace in logic here, although we don't have the big key for it. But it is a place we can check for some items. Gonna go see what's in Dark World here. At this point, the floodgates are pretty much open for the seed. The back of pod. We don't need the fire rod to beat them off. We only needed it to open his back door. So this is a dungeon we can clear. Oh, actually, no, we can't clear because we don't have a small key. Never mind. I almost missed that. There's so many different variables you have to keep track of in this, and it's really hard to keep it all straight in your head sometimes, let me tell you. Alright, checking what height cave would normally be. Maybe it's vanilla. Nope, it is the man with all the beds. You don't normally see that house because it's covered by a bunch of bushes and Kakariko. And the Super Bomb Shop is just a normal shop. Ah, here's the Ice side of Ice Heart Cave, and it is a small key to Misery Mire. Not really necessary, but good to have for convenience. Alright, and another bridge now for Walsh. This will be a heart container for him. And Dapper Ornament is gonna check the top of Death Mountain here, which is something I don't think Walsh did. Oh no, he did. Never mind. Again, with all the checks that our runners are doing, it's very easy to miss something. Walsh heading to the Dark Palace area. Dark Star Hospital being checked. Normally this is just a storyteller, but today it's a money-making game. Ooh, Dapper we're making snipe at the guard there. Or the laser. Oh! Okay, well, that's an interesting predicament. So, this is obviously Aghanim Tower. But we don't need to do Aghanim. So, we're just here for the 2 items and we're leaving. 3 bombs and something else upstairs. And there's nothing here in Agha Tower, thank goodness. Alright, it's gonna be 110 rupees to enter the Dark Palace enters. Maybe there's something here, maybe there's something not. Dapper Wormman, meanwhile, gonna start checking South Dark World. It's the hospital. Information on the green pendant is Swamp Palace. And we get the big key to ice. Okay. Walsh, I know you know where Ice Palace is. I think that now's the time. You have all the keys. You have Bombos. I don't think you put it off any longer. It's gonna be a really bad fight for him, though, so I can see why. I'm getting very strong suspicions about Ice Palace, though. Stumpy has a heart piece, meanwhile. East Town entrance, meanwhile. Storyteller. Spike Cave, meanwhile, but no invisibility and not enough health to tank it. And normally this is a shop here, as you find Doc Saha at the Arrow Hut. Ooh, it is the big chest of Turtle Rock, and this gives us a small piece of Skull Woods. This is also a good launching point to go check something like Crystal Roller Room. Mimic Cave, meanwhile, at the race game location, so you did need the mirror to get over here. And inside the Mimic Cave was a small key to Gan's Tower. That an item we needed is we get a heart piece as well from Artie Walsh. There's a lot of different ways to go in this seed. I just don't know where they want to go next. Walsh needs to be continuing to the earlier parts of Turtle Rock here. Or maybe the deeper ones. "26 digs there, I counted, to get the Akita Swamp. We know that's a green pendant. But that big key is not really required except for getting that big chest, so not really ideal there. And just getting another bottle for R.D. Walsh. Ooh, finding that small key to these down after clearing the dungeon may put a little bit of a worry into Dapper Wormman's mind, but so far, should be fine. And yeah, based on the images I've seen, unfortunately, the fairy fountain is locked in the... Or not the fairy fountain, the big 4-ticket item that is the Kakariko Well. Or 5-ticket item even. That's locked by the well. That is not ideal. That's like the worst cave you want there at Pyramid Fairy, because that's a lot... Not Pyramid Fairy, what am I talking about? It's... You do not want the waterfall, or the Kakariko Well at the Ganon drop down. Thank you. Words. Alright. This is also one of the few entrances in... Actually, there's a 5th rule now. I keep forgetting rules because it's been so long since I've talked about Cross Keys. The Skullwoods entrances are mixed in with each other, mainly. Because it just adds way too much confusion. So, all the front and middle entrances of Skullwoods are just intermixed with each other. And then the back is a random entrance. You would think that in their chat, saying that it might be locked behind a lot of stuff. But one of the entrances that is shuffled is Ganon's Tower. So, depending on how those big keys and small keys play out, we could literally just find Ganon's Tower and go straight up, and then unlock the pyramid. There is really nothing stopping that here in Cross Keys. Except for, again, the big and small keys. And there we go, Master Skullwood's found. And we see that seed there next to the magic meter. We know this is a crystal dungeon. 5-6, of course, to be determined still. But still, this is one of our target dungeons to clear. The moth needs to die. And that's while he's there to prevent soft locks in Cross Keys. Alright, where are we going next? Now, that all said, of course, as we talk about requirements of chat, Gaddis Tower could just be in Gaddis Tower. We don't know where it is. But we're getting to one of the more unknown locations here, the Curiosity Shop. If you were playing vanilla, this is where you could buy a fire shield for 500 rupees. And today, it's the exit to Spectacle Rock Cave. Okay, so what dungeons have we not seen yet? I don't think we've seen Hera. We've not seen the Bacca Desert. We've not seen Pod, Swamp. We have not seen Mire. I think that's it. GT as well. Nearly forgot about GT. Very well, taking the death there. Central chest of Turtle Rock only has 20 rupees. That would normally be a problem, but because of the entrance shuffle, that throws the normal key logic more or less out the window. Of course, when I talk about key logic there, for anyone who's not aware, best way to put it, and the most simple way to put it, is that the randomizer has checks in place so that whatever door you're supposed to enter in, it assumes that you use your very last key there. It basically foolproofs the logic. So you will always find all the necessary small keys before you can go that deep into a dungeon. Or as many small keys as you need to open every other door prior to that. Alright, Bacca Desert found. This is going to be another dungeon clear for Dapper Wormman. Oh. Why? Huh? What? Oh, he doesn't have the big key, right. Oh, he must have autopiloted then. I was confused. I was like, wait, is he key stealing? He's already done the small key chests. Threw me off there. Alright, DK now for Walsh. Alright, Bumper Cave is going to be the Super Bomb, and it's going to be Turtle Rock and the Palace of Darkness for our 5-6. So we now know Skull Woods is a normal crystal. And there's our blacksmiths. Not too far away from their normal home. And yeah, Tapperman gonna take the bullet here and go down Spiral Cave. And alright, please tell me at least the entrance is connected to this spot is a little bit better than what we just found. That I would classify as better. Yes, hello there, Misery Mire. We can't full clear you, but we can definitely get a lot of work done. Also, Ick, you have to go through Spiral Cave to get to Misery Mire. I'm gonna hope they find the big key to this dungeon and the Skate of Samari in here, because that would make things so much better. But we'll have to wait and see. First check just a heart container. Walsh only now finding access to Paradise Cave, which means he'll finally get some armor. Alright. Let's see what cutscene chest is here in Mire. Meanwhile, Walsh is leaving the southern entrance of dungeon. Oh, because Lee's Dark Sank. Okay, he's been over this way. Graveyard Ledge? Yeah, this is like Graveyard Ledge to me. And that's the last entrance of Turtle Rock. Alright, so cabbage looks like from Walsh. Or maybe not. Dark Shopping Mall as it's known. Ah, the chicken hut. Alright, there's an item here. Third bottle with a blue potion inside for free. Always nice to have. And nothing in Mire. Archery minigame over on Walsh's side. Kind of a bad spot for it. And the third entrance, we have a fortune teller. Quite the menagerie over there in Dark Shopping Mall. And he hasn't checked Light Shopping Mall yet either. So there's the top of Paradise Cave, so now he knows he could have been there a lot sooner. Yeah, one-way entrances are something you don't really like taking in cross keys, but sometimes you have no choice. In this case, there was no choice. We have to do that one. And so to have that information is going to really benefit Dapper Wormman in the long run. And we get some information on Eastern Palaces. We have our map here. It is a pendant, so it is not our green pendant. But that means we only have one more pendant dungeon between Desert, Hera, Ice Palace, and Mire. No, never mind. Mire is a crystal, so it's either Desert, Hera, or Ice Palace. Or Swamp. Yeah, no, Swamp Palace is our green pendant. I almost forgot. I'm not gonna lie, I have a very strong suspicion that Ice Palace is locking our next step of progression. I don't know what that next step could be, but I have a feeling that they should be going there sooner rather than later. They have everything they need for it. Well, maybe not Dapper, but definitely Roomies Artie Walsh does. Even has the armor and about as much health as you would have for that dungeon, so... The Smoky Turtle Rock. Yeah, both of them might be putting off Ice Palace, as someone mentions, to just to have an icebreaker. But with these settings, there is a very good chance that Ice Palace, the Demon Prince of Ice Palace, just has the Cane Samari in there anyway. So we may not have a choice on the matter. Now, where was Bombos again? I'm trying to remember where Bombos was. I think both our runners have it. Oh, Blindside. Yeah, he hasn't been back there, I don't think. So, yeah. Yeah, Davrun having that Bombos medallion definitely puts a wrinkle in that plan. Still possible for Walsh, though. Something else I noticed is we don't have an actual way to get to the Mire region here, so this could require Tinesmiths and the flute. Then again, we haven't shipped our Dark Room connectors yet, so there is that. I don't know, this sea is definitely starting to drag on here as they're just trying to find all the information. But I think the sea, at least in terms of my mind, is just screaming for Walsh to go to Ice. All the darkness around? I could not remember half of them. Does that make sense? I think there's one mounted connector that hasn't been found. I want to say it's the one that's normally on East Death Mountain that takes you to where Turtle Rock's Laser Ridge comes out at in the Light World. Like, I know that attached cave has a connector. I'm just not sure if we've seen that one or not. First, look over here on the desert side of things. There is Swamp Palace, and we can full clear this dungeon. It is a pendant. Walsh does not know that. I don't think. That's a hair. Has to leave. No small key. And there's the bombos and the big key to Turtle Rock. Starworm is now finding access to Ice Palace. Doesn't have the big key yet. Alright, so where are our runners going? Looks like they're taking the same path. Never mind. Okay, yeah, this makes sense. Davenport's gonna finish off Skullwoods. Oh, right. No, he hasn't been over this way yet. So, yeah, he hasn't. This is the first discovery of it. Well, he's got all the keys he needs, so that's good for him. Alright, Sick Kid has arrows. All right. Where is Walsh going to be heading? On a cave? Now the house makes more sense. Quick map check there. We did see Tower Hera is a crystal. I didn't think we had the map for desert, but I couldn't tell what that was. Alright, where... So I don't think Dapper Room has been this side of the light world yet. So just crossing over to this here, and as we are getting close to an hour and 20 minutes into the sea, folks, so I do make sure to follow our two runners here. We're putting on a good race for us tonight. It is guard versus guard here with Dapper Warman and Walsh. Speaking to Hera now for Dapper Warman, so when we find Hera, he can full clear it. Hera still MIA. Could be our third pendant, and it's locked in Ganon's Tower, which would be great. Still no sign of Ganon's Tower either. I think Ice was in Kakariko Village in the rat refill room. So the bottom left corner of Kakariko Village. And it is available. Arduel's Bit the Bullet is now going to be discovering Meyer, so that advantage is now gone from Dapper Worm Man. So Meyer, Hera, both unaccounted for. Swaps the green pendant. So we're just looking at either ice or desert as our second pendant dungeon that we don't know of. And we have the map for ice at the very least, so they could do a quick map check here. Taha's house is completely empty. Right? Now we're over the information about Swamp Palace. And now has the big key to ice. So everything available to him that he can do. He's probably gonna check the map here. No, just gonna go straight to it, maybe? Or no, check this entrance first, of course. And there's Mini Moldarn. Gotta grab a ferry. Hey, filling up help. He's probably gonna do a dungeon dive here. Yeah, this is down for heading to Kakariko. I think he's gonna bite the bullet and go to Ice Palace. Yeah, there's like next to nothing left. I don't think there's any other location they haven't visited yet except for Ice Palace. Yeah, there it is. It was in the library, so it was slightly off, but... Ah, but we have our map and pendant information. This is another pendant, so it is a pendant ice dip. Desert Palace is our last crystal. Alright, so targets are Desert Palace, Hera, Pod, which I don't think we found Pod yet. Skullwoods, Thieves Town, Myra, which is still MIA, and Turtle Rock. Hera's also MIA now that I think about it. And Eastern Medallion in Ice Palace. That's kind of fitting. And considering this is a pendant dungeon, I would not be surprised if we get our major progression and just bail. But at the same time, I also would not be surprised if we had to do something else. Walsh, are you thinking this is an Aghanim seed? Has he really not checked Lumberjack Glitch? I'm pretty sure it's been in here already. Oh no. What is this plane here? He can use the mirror to get... Oh, wait. Someone brings up a good point in chat. Is this just to remove the laser barrier in front of the Aghanim Tower? I never thought of that. I never thought of them doing that in any cross-key seed I've ever seen. What? This is a Hail Mary play if I ever saw one. And I've seen a lot of Hail Marys in this randomizer. Master Sword in Ice Palace. Yeah, this is about as niche as you could get. It's so niche even I wasn't aware of it. Well, today I learned. Big key, though, for Misery Meyer in Ice Palace. There's no avoiding it. You need to go to Ice Palace. That big key is 100% required. Alright, let's see if this Aghanim fight is worth the time here. Actually, with the Master Sword we just found, I just realized what Walsh is doing is actually a big waste of time because there's Master Sword in Ice Palace. He can just cut the barrier open. Ooh, so the only way this comes a big help here is if there is something very specific behind this Aghanim entrance that is going to be huge. But even then, I can't think of anything. Boots, maybe? Alright, well, Aghanim is down. But with Master and Ice Palace, this just made the Aghanim Tower climb just not really worth it. Alright, the barrier's gone, and inside is Tower of Hera. Okay, so this might have been worth in Walsh's eyes, but we know there's a sword out there which lets you just cut the eagle barrier down. And there's another sword there. That woman has to be a bit careful, but does have a fairy. Good routing his part, thinking a couple steps ahead here for this fight. And it gets through it. Another big key. This one goes to Ganon's Tower. Not a big key we need in this rule set, but still nice to have. And yeah, Davrman is absolutely just going to go right into Hera here, just cut the barrier open, so there's going to be like a 5-minute time save. But he's going south first. Probably approaching this from the Dark World, which makes a lot of sense. He doesn't have a way to get up there, now that I think about it. I gotta remember that this is entrance after all, so things have to be done in a specific order. And there's the cape. So in Walsh's mind here, he thinks he's done a big brain move. Unfortunately for him, we know where another sword is, and it's just an Ice Palace, which is pendant and required. Alright. Boulder fight happening. 3 spins is all we need. It's gonna skip the speed up phase. Nicely done. Unfortunately, Dapper is already on his way to Tower Hera. But that's another crystal in the bank for Walsh, his second. Quick detour there to pick up the Sikya turn in. Yeah, he did a full tower climb, which is not ideal. Wow, did he just... That's impressive. So he's probably gonna check the barrier entrance last. Yeah. And Walsh is now trading places here, going into Ice Palace at long last. And Daver's gonna pick up some red potion. So all that time spent in Ice Palace is going to pay out here. And once he gets the sword here, Walsh is going to realize real quickly that he just did Aghanim for nothing, which might start playing into his mindset a bit. Alright. They're trading places here once again. But Dapper Orman definitely in a much stronger position here. Of course, so we haven't mentioned the current scores of this going into week 6. I completely forgot to mention them, and it's only been 90 minutes. I apologize. So currently, Tower Roomies is 5-5 here at the start of week 6, with a total of 15 points. Meanwhile, Amish Paradise is right behind them in terms of the league standings and category division with a 3-7 record. So both runners here, or both teams here, may not be able to clinch a playoff spot, but at least they'll also avoid relegation, which means they'll drop out of the Invitational League. They're going to be invited, and won't be invited back to compete in Season 7 of the Invitational. Alright. And this is going to be the moment where Walsh's heart starts to sink, I think. Right here. Yep, there it is. Yeah, a little bit of frustration inputs there on the D-pad. You can see it. Yeah, he knows he just lost a fair bit of time there to Aghanim. I will give him credit where it's due. It was a really good gambit. It just didn't pay off. And right now, Dapper will not be going back to Myros Lady because we don't have the Cane of Samaria. That said, for all we know, the big chest in Misery Mire could just have a vanilla Cane of Samaria. But I think the more likely... Oh, actually... What's left for us to find? That actually brings up a good question. What's left for us to find entrance-wise? I can't think of any other entrance that we can do right now. I think the one chest left in Mire might actually lead to progression. Dare I say it. I think we might need to do it. Yeah, this could very well be having to dip Mire for the boots. Or something that leads to them, because right now we have nothing. Spike is now launching with a cape, so maybe we'll be heading over there. In fact, I think we're seeing it right now. Alright. Dungeon clear for Early Walsh here in Ice Palace. Tying up... Well, actually, no, not even tying up the dungeons count, because he still has to do that. Compass to Hera! and now Walsh, in addition to having definitely fallen behind from the Aghanim fight, now has to deal with the basically the hard mode light world here with all the extra guards and the more aggressive enemies. Where's Dapper Wormman going? Okay, Dapper Wormman is going to get the last check of Thieves down. He actually left this behind because he didn't have the small key at first. So he is going to lose a bit of time here, but not all too much. Because he went into this dungeon without the Thieves Down small, which he found much later. Bumper Cave Ledge being mirrored through. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's the one connection you don't want to see, the exit to. That could have worked out. And yeah, Walsh is just standing there contemplating. Yeah, I think it's just Meyer. And the item has to be like boots or something. Fire Rod could also work, because that opens up the back of Skull Woods. I don't know. Book is another option, as our tracker points out. Titan's Bits also opens up a few entrances as well. It gives us access to the Hammer Pegs entrance. Also, we should probably note that during Q-Sandy, the pendant and crystal thieves get shuffled about, so can't rely on that fully. Everyone back on the top of Death Mountain. Where are you going? Okay, also gonna choke Bumper Cave Ledge, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I think Walsh is doing the correct play here. So, whatever time advantage that Dapper gained by not going to Aghanim over Walsh is probably melting away here. Firing an arrow into the rupee. That's funny. Yeah, this may not feel like a good play for Walsh, but it's definitely the correct play here. Because Dapper Worm has left a lot of single item checks behind. So, losing a lot of ground here to doing isolated checks. Flute doesn't unlock anything by itself, unfortunately, in this seed. Alright, moment of truth. What's here? Small key to Swamp Palace. Well, there are floodgates in there, so I guess we can say they're open now. One item check just turned into like 10. I think Pet Swap is hard required, actually, for the seed. We are out of checks. This is just being bottlenecked at this point. Walsh is going to make a quick detour and take care of the moth. Yeah, any other check that we've seen thus far by our two runners here is not... Oh, okay. Yeah, Walsh has to do that in order to get through this room. Well done. Everyone else had to do it earlier, I do believe. Little Boomerang woes. Ooh, the Wizards are actually in the high value pool. Well, if not playing nice. Utilizing the key to minimize damage. It's done, and that is a save quit. The fourth bottle now for Walsh. His third crystal of the match, and yeah, both runners at this point should know that the answer is Swamp Palace. It looks like Dapper... Oh, it's actually going to be neck and neck. Ooh, okay. Alright, yeah, it's going to be neck and neck with Dapper Woman having a very small lead going into the dungeon. Yeah, this race is evened up significantly. You would think that Walsh would be out of this, but no, they are... frame for frame, pretty much. Walsh taking a very minor advantage in getting the hookshot dash there. And now they're synced up again. This is crazy. We're gonna wisely get the key here, so a small deviation. Walsh is just gonna go straight in, though. Yeah, Walsh is immediately beelining for left side swamp. Alright, so this is going to be... Looks like Dapper's not going to do left side swamp here. And instead is going to go straight to the back. So this could decide the race here going forward. Titus Mitts, 10 arrows for Dapper Wormman. That has uncorked a few things. But is there more to find? ₹20 on left side swamp. Compass to Swamp Palace. One check left here on Dapper Wormman's. On the right side of Dark Palace, we have a Smoking and Mire. Left side swamp is not required. So if Dapper Wormman decides to save time and just bails on it, then that will be an advantage in his favor. Otherwise, it might be Walsh with a faster route here. Alright. Pulse of the R guy are down. Setting up for a couple quick spin attacks. Nicely done. Both runners are behind at this point. There's no question about that. He's got the Titans fit, so... Yeah, he's just gonna bail on left side swamp. Okay. That is actually the right call for Dapper we're meant to make here. As they were neck and neck in Swamp Palace. And Dapperman is going backwards. Going to the Dark World? Oh yeah, it would be faster to use this warp here to go to Hammerface, wouldn't it? And also do all this Smith Chain stuff. So yeah, this is definitely Smith Chain into this Hammerface and a Smith Chain at this point. We've been to the Ice Palace and Turtle Rock entrances, so this is just for Smith Chain. Turtle Rock, I think, was the eastern exit of Desert. I forget where Ice Palace came out, but I think it was one of the Hyrule Castle entrances. So we've been in both at this point. Yeah, I think Hyrule Castle was actually... was it the center or the right entrance of Hyrule Castle? I think it was the right one. Oh! Boy! There's the Motherlode. Dapper Wormman hammers down the pegs and finds the entrance to Ganon's Tower. We don't have to stay long here, but that is a whopping 27 items in this dungeon. 5 of which are upstairs. Frog is now becoming a squire at this point. Gonna be taking on the Evil's Bane. The Mavigans Tower in its own dungeon. Madness. Mushroom. Actually, have we found the Witch's Hut? I don't think we found the Witch's Hut. So we don't know where to turn that in just yet. That has to be Meyer. Or the Meyer region, rather. And we're also about to stumble into GT here as well. And arrows, and heading over to Rando Room. And there's the flute of what's Meyer in play. And the red mail. And someone reminding us in chat, yes, the Kakariko Well is our drop down here by process of elimination. So there's another 5 items waiting if they are willing to go up and clear GT. So there's a whopping 32 items that was being locked in this dungeon. That is almost a 1/7 of the items in this game, give or take. Fire Rod. Ooh, careful. Our container. Yeah, actually, at this point... No, actually, we are not... So, our go mode for this seed as this stands. We need the Cane of Samaria. We need the big key to Pod, which has yet to been found. Small key to this dungeon. Not what we need to see. We need the big key to Desert. I think I haven't mentioned this yet. We need the big key to Pod. A couple more small keys to put everything in logic. And we also, in addition to all that, need to find where Pod is. We do not know where that entrance is yet. At this point, it has to be the Maya region. There's no other place for it to be. The starting points for the seed are pretty decent, honestly. We have Sanctuary just a little bit over to the right at the Waterfall Ferry drop-down. Or Waterfall... Yeah, the Useless Fairy Cave drop-down. And then... the Old Man Cave is unfortunately near Link's house on the coast of Lake Hylia Island. And Dapper Wormman's just gonna fail. Oh, he didn't have arrows! I don't think he had arrows to kill the other 2 Armos Knights. Or the other 2 Gorillas. And we're synced up again. This is crazy. My goodness, this is coming down to the wire here. Both runners on at least 12 hearts red. Tempered sword. Oh, Dapper Worm has to be a little careful here. I don't think he has Fairy Ball anymore, but he does have a red potion. And should really consider drinking it, because one more laser and he's done for. Oh no! crashes into the BMOS! Oh, but he had a fairy. I wasn't sure he had a fairy or not anymore. I didn't see him capture a new one. Alright, Lambos are down, but that untimely death, that fairy rival did cost him some time. Walsh now in the lead going up Ganon's Tower. Again, this is a fast Ganon. We don't need to climb up here, but there is a whopping 5 items being locked behind this GT with our Kakariko Well being locked behind the Ganon drop down. The opportunity to get a 4-way stun against all those guards. Almost gets it though. And they are room for room here. Like within 2 seconds of each other. It's kind of nuts. Bombs and 5 rupees. Our 3rd medallion in Quake has been found finally. And pretty similar fights there for our 2 runners here as they get 300 rupees in the final chest. Again, the main deciding factor of them going up as far as they are right now is the fact that this is going to unlock the Kakariko Well entrance. Alright, Agam 2 time. Nice triple from both runners. A single there for Walsh. Davarman misses, unfortunately. And double there for Walsh to wrap things up. I also like how spectral looking Jeremiah is in this fight. Kind of an interesting little detail. And into the pyramid drop down. I don't think Davarman can enter actually, can he? I don't remember. Oh, no, he can. I forget what the rules for followers are sometimes. Red Boomerang and a heart container thus far. Small key to Dark Palace. 20 rupees and 10 arrows. So, by the key logic, which requires 6 small keys to reach the boss of Pod, that was a mandatory GT climb. Also always accessible. Sometimes I don't. There's a lot of things I can't keep track of with this randomizer sometimes. And Deborah's long walk back is not as long as we think because he knows that in the initial mountain entrance is the Smith House, so he knows where to go. He just has to go a few screens north. Walsh meanwhile is going to get the flute online and is going to be heading over to Misery Mire region, which more than likely has the big key eat a pod in one of the entrances there, but more importantly, the entrance to pod in general. And our Smith chain rewards us with money. Paid 10, got 300 back. I think that's one worthwhile deal as we enter the second hour of this race. Mushroom turning real quick. Not that this place is where we pick up our item. Because I believe the woodshed's over here in the Mire region. We have not seen that entrance either. To enter the Mire regions, we did need the Quake Medallion as well. So the upper climb was required for multiple reasons, potentially. Small key to Dark Palace, compass to Skull Woods. So that gives us a good amount of keys here. So playing our cards right, we have enough small keys to finish the dungeon. And the back of Desert, which we have not been to yet, I don't think. The one and only small key to Hyrule Castle. Way too late in the scene. And the back of Desert has the small key to Turtle Rock. That is the fourth and final small key. And the actual entrance to the Desert boss is Pod. Alright, entrance-wise, we're in go. Key-wise, we are not. Item-wise, we are not. Ice Rod and Cadence Mario is still MIA. Actually, yeah, the good point in chat was brought up here is that we found most of our small keys, so the one in the torch is in fact another pod small, it looks like. I think there's only, like, another Skullwood small available? No, we found all three of those, too. So yeah, no, it has to be the pod small on the torch. So we found all our small keys. So we're just looking for those bigs. Oh, yes, no, Mire smalls. Right. Give me that as well. So yeah, all eyes on Walsh here as he enters into Mire, or goes deeper into pod. Dapper Wormman, meanwhile, is gonna check the Quake entrance. So let's see what the entrance to Misery Mire is. It's Hype Cave! How have we not found Hype Cave yet? Oh, the Gobo could just be here. Big key, meanwhile, found for Eastern Palace. That is how we want to see. Boots have been found by Dapper Wormman. That does open up a few more entrances as well. But Pod is... Wait, that opens up the possibility that Pod might not have its own big key. Alright, folks, you're a fan of Dapper Wormman. You want him to find the rest of these items before he goes into Pod. Oh my god, it's the gold sword, and that is the old man drop down. So logically, you had to bunny walk and mirror to go get the old man with the cake with the lamp. Wow! Only in Cross Keys do you get that sort of logic chain. And only the fortune teller here at Checkerboard. Alright, King's team being checked. Boots checks are happening now for everyone. Unfortunately, that is a connector, but we know it doesn't lead anywhere we need. That was the one mounted connector I was referring to. Alright, one more check here in pod. It's the ice rod, which we did need, so that means Turtle Rock is clearable. Oh no! But you know what else is clearable? Pedestal! I just noticed that with that big key to Eastern Palace, the pod big key could, or the desert big key for that matter, could just be on Ped. Or the key to Samaria, that's another point. So this could just be all dungeons. Folks, you might want to get some popcorn if you haven't done so already. I think we're going to be here for a bit longer. And that is the tile room that is normally found at Dark Shopping Mall, I want to say. Or Light Shopping Mall, one of the two. And there's the Potion Hut, right next to Link's house. Actually, a decent spot for that to show up. Shame the booths were so late. But a quick mushroom turn in for Dapper Wormman will rectify that. Dapper Wormman is kind of hard last locationing this pod entrance, and it's only 50 rupees to turn the mushroom for. Decent payday, honestly, but not what we need to see. But yeah, based on what we've seen thus far, it's either... Yeah, wait a minute. We're missing Pod Big, we're missing Desert Big. We can clear Turtle Rock. We can clear Eastern. Something's not adding up here, though. Unless both have their missing big keys. We haven't turned in the green penny yet, actually, now that I think about it. That could be something we need to do still. And the back of school list hasn't been checked yet for an entrance, but given everything we've seen thus far, I can't think of any more item-based entrances that we haven't seen yet. Like, maybe the brewery chest hasn't been checked yet? It's hard to keep track of all the entrances in this mode, honestly. Yeah, I think they need to go to Eastern Palace here. Oh, but where was Eastern Palace? I don't remember where the dungeon has been. It's been so long. Yeah, they found Eastern Palace early. I just don't remember where. It still only came for Turtle Rocks. You're right, so... I think the only viable... Oh my goodness. Based on what I have seen, I'm going to make this prediction here. I don't think there's a big key on Pet anymore. I think we have a Paradox Seed in our hands. Because I can't for the life of me think of how one check... Because it either is one check that Daisy chains and collects everything else. At this point, because we need the Eastern Big to get the Pod Big, to get the Cane of Samaria, to get the Desert Big, or something like that. But what if it's just the book and all the remaining big keys and... Well, that doesn't solve for everything. I don't know. This is feeling like it's a Petsy to me. Let's see what's here in Eastern Palace. It's either a big key or the book. It's one or the other on pedestal, I'm pretty sure at this point. Because even if both the pod big key and the desert big key were here in this dungeon, we still have the Cane of Samaria MIA for Desert Palace to put everything in go mode. Wait, did I say the Cane of Samaria for Desert Palace? I meant the Cane of Samaria for Mire and Turtle Rock. Wow. It's been a long seed, folks. Half magic. Not helpful. Good to have, but not helpful. And Green Pit is still an option too. Our runners haven't turned that in yet. I believe those checks have been done. Those were done early. And actually, now that I think about it, we don't need them, but where have been our silver arrows this whole time? Alright, here comes the Armos Knights play. Oh, setting up for the quick kill, and gets it! Cane of Samaria on the boss. That does open up the Mire dungeon. But it's only the boss. There's 2 item checks left at this point in the seed. Oh no, and we have Turtle Rock as well. And then I have a few more, so never mind. We have a couple more. This is definitely a play to Turtle Rock, though, I think. And Down Riverman, I think, is beeline to Eastern. He knows he's in trouble now. And this makes a lot of sense doing Turtle Rock first, because there's still 3 items in here. All of which have been cane locked. So the boss here, plus the 3 items on the first floor, which he'll be put at the entrance to the first floor when he's done here. And yeah, Ice Robos and Pod, we have both runners with it at this point. Okay, here we go. Good 1 cycle here. Watch a little forward, so not an ideal position. Gotta tank it. So you're gonna want to try to do a spin attack and ricochet backwards and hit him again. Let's see if he gets it. Little early on the spin attack, but still well done. Alright, so that is crystal number 5. But there was nothing here on the boss. That said, there's still items on the first floor, and this will put him at the Tower Hair entrance to go in there and do the upper floors. So it's very possible that on this upper floor we have the Pod Big Key and the Desert Big Key, which would put us in go mode. Both runners did have the mushroom, so they turned that in. So, if we get 2 dud checks here, which one of them is Silver Arrows, which is not necessarily dud, but that's still nice to have. So, these 2 chests coming up here in Tower in Turtle Rock have to be big keys, both be big keys to Pod and Desert. If they are not, then it is a 50-50 between Vitreous having one or its pedestal. Let's find out. 10 arrows. The map. It's neither. It's a pen seed. It's a pen seed. It has to be. The only way it's not is if Meyer has the big key to pod on Vitreous. And then the keys we're missing are on 5, 6. Yeah, no, this is very, very problematic here. So the only way this is not a seed here that is a pet seed. Vitreous needs to have a big key. And then whatever big key they have, either the Desert Palace or the Pod big key, the other dungeon must have the other big key in their dungeon chest or the boss. And in that regard, there's a good chance they can have neither, and in which case it is a pet seed. It's more likely that it's not a pet seed if we get the Pod big key first, because that one unlocks the 5-6 crystal. And we also have right side GT, as someone pointed out. I completely forgot about that. That is not something you could do with just the lamp, but no one did that. We needed the cane for that, which we now have. Right. It's not like things I wish I had a coach call. It's hard to keep track of all this stuff. And there we go. Very nice quick kill on phase 2 there for Dapper Wordman. Getting that perfect double hit. All right, moment of truth here coming up on the Vitreous fight as we approach it. Unfortunately, Dapper Wordman still has a few extra checks here that could make him eat a lot of time up here. He still has the left side of Swamp. He has the GT Basement, which could have it. In fact, if he Hail Mary's GT Basement on right side, he might be able to pull ahead here. Yeah, right side GT Basement is the most dense location left with 4 checks. Which is saying a lot about how many checks we've done this eve. We're probably up close to that 200 mark. Go with dash strats there on Vitreous. And Vitreous has money! Ladies and gentlemen, I can say it with certainty now. This is a pedestal seed. About the only way it's not is if it's in right side GT Basement or on the green pendant, which I think Walsh will turn in. But even then, it is very low odds. It's like a 1 in 8 or something like that. Yeah, it's very close. Close to it. We have like 7 checks left. It looks like Walsh is going to check GT first. Makes sense. This is the most item dense check. If it's not here, then all we have left is Green Pendant. But that Green Pendant can only realistically be one of the 2 items we are missing. So it's more than likely a pedestal seed at that point. And Dapper Room is going to be hitting the Mire. So, yeah, we're going to be seeing Tile Room. Tile Room is getting to live up to their name. Alright, 10 bombs here in the Tile Room. Alright, 4 items coming up here in the right chest of Gansar base here. Are these the 2 big keys we are missing? Book of Adora. Ooh. Big key to Desert. 5 rupees. The Key to Burna. Okay, so we have one of our 2 missing big keys. So, 1 of 3 locations now. 4 locations are left now. Actually, no, wait, there's more. Because of that book. Ah! I think you just read pen at this point. You're close by. Read it. You gotta know. Or you just blindfold it. Either or. Where's he going? Desert Palace. He's gonna go finish off of the land moles. Makes sense. What a weird seed. Alright, Deverin now with the Vitreous kill down. Alright, here we go with the Lammolas fight here for Desert Palace. 1, 2, 3. Is this go mode? No, it's another shield. So it's green pendant, or pedestal, or ether, or bombos. 4 checks left, and they're pretty much in all corners of the world. We have to go all the way up the mountain for ether, all the way down to the desert for bombos, all the way to Eastern Palace to turn it in because the hospital is in Eastern Palace. And then all the way to pedestal for the last check. We're gonna see what those last entrance here is. Bowfrunner's prioritizing it for some reason. I don't know what's here. It's the hammer face check, but it's only bombs. Are we getting a blind pen pull from Dapper? We're getting a blind pen pull, simultaneous pen pull. Book reading. The big key to darkness! It is there! That is Dapper Wordman getting his big key to pod, but Walsh is in go mode. And with that, Dapper is going to be heading to pod first to get his 5-6. He is going to absolutely last location the right side of the GT Basin, which unfortunately has the Desert Palace big key. Man, this race went back and forth. For already Walsh climbing Aghanim when he didn't need to. Dapper Wordman just making good plays here. They're skipping to the right checks, but the 1 checks he needed to skip, he did not go back to. Oh man, what a roller coaster the scene here was. What a roller coaster. Oh, I can finally start calming down now. Wow. This race was just so close. I should point out, by the way, that I think combined between our runners, we have found everything on our tracker. Everything. This was a full 100% seed. Like, I believe they even have different in level 2 shields. And we know where the last small key is because we've seen it on the torch of Ganon's Tower. And the third chest might as well, but that's a minor thing at this point. In terms of inventory and the main items, we've seen everything. And who knows, maybe our last small key is here on the Helmsor King. Wouldn't that be a sight? Alright. That is a fully lit up tracker for Artie Walsh. And that is the 7th crystal in his hands, and it is time to go fight Ganon in his grave. This has to be up above 200 in terms of the item count. Because, let's see here. All we haven't done is check the 5-6. The big chest of pod. And both of the tablets. So, it's around a 210. Somewhere around there. Ganon was reading the wrong script there. That's Zelda 2, not Zelda 3. Already into phase 3 here. They're wrapping things up here. Is this heading into Ganon's Tower for Dapper? I think it is. Alright. One silver arrow. Light the torches. Looking good. That might be only a double. No, it's a triple. Never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, we can do GG's in chat for Artie Walsh. Pulling a surprise victory out of this. And finishing with a finish time of 2 hours, 29 minutes even. Oh my goodness, what a race. What a race. I thought Walsh was going to lose this after doing an Aghanim 1 climb. But, wow. Goes to show you never discount a runner or when they make a bold play here. And Dapper Merman's about to find the Desert Big Key. There it is. sees the dot done has come in and has forfeited as of this point. So GG's to both of them for putting on an excellent race. Wow. We'll see about getting those interviews here in just a moment. My goodness, folks. Once again, and as we're waiting for them to come in here, make sure to give our runners a follow here for putting on an excellent race for us tonight. Oh boy. And we are now joined by Dapper Wormman. GG to you, sir. Or well raced here. It just came down to some the shiz at the end. Walk us through your thoughts on the seed as it progressed. And this was a long one. This was all dungeons.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for the GGs. Yeah, it was quite a long seed. Yeah, did not enjoy last locating a bunch of stuff.
And we are now also joined here by Artie Walsh here. And I will give you credit where it's due, Walsh, first and foremost. That Aghanim 1 play was very bold. It's a shame it didn't pay out in the long run, but that was some good advanced knowledge there.
Yeah, as I was saying to Wordman in the race time chat, I've never been so frustrated to see a tempered sword in my life. Also, GG's Wordman.
Hello, Wall. Thank you. GGs to you as well.
Yo, yeah, I came in and you were saying that it was really frustrating, like classificating a bunch of stuff. I feel the exact same way. That was just not. I've had more fun playing this game, dude.
Yeah, I mean, just the typical cross keys that always happens to me. I go through a connector and get locked out. Can't even go back in to like go back to where I was. I felt like I got my mirror at a decent time because money was so light in the early part of the seed. I don't know if maybe that was late for you or something, but that had me feeling good. But then last locating, and I knew that glove was behind Cape. So to see Cape show up behind Master Sword, and I don't even know if I had the 2 keys, to be honest, to beat it. It was just very funny logic train, and then of course pedestal, always hilarious.
Yeah, what's interesting here is that not only did you both pull pedestal at pretty much the exact same time, you were also, at least for the first half of Swamp Palace, room for room, transition for transition, going through there. The difference, of course, being Walsh did left side swamp, which ended up being a bust, but ended up getting a bunch of time I saved elsewhere.
Yeah, Mitz was big enough for me to just avoid left side swamp entirely, even though it was my only place left I had any items. But Mitz opened up. I was pretty sure I was going to find GT behind Mitz, even though there's only like 1 location that opened. I was like, there's clearly, I have so much stuff for Gans Tower.
That makes sense. And also, it also unlocks like the Smith sequence. Even though, I know that I've been spit out from the Ice Palace door and the Turtle Rock door, so I knew that there was no door. But I also did left side swamp first. So it was just never really a question for me.
Yeah, I grabbed the key to do it first, and then just decided to go to rush the back because it was also a green pendant, I think, right? So
Yes.
Even though Saha was just in a stupid location,
I was never going back for Saha. I mean, I was eventually. Yeah. Eventually, you'd run out of options, but no, that was low on the priority list.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that logic chain, because I had to stay in logic because I kind of got careless. I wasn't looking at my notes. I know I walked past the library and I had the sword and I had Bombos and I just didn't go into Ice Palace. I forgot that I had found Ice Palace. I remember finding Bombos and thinking, hey, that'll be handy when I actually find Ice Palace. And then, yeah, later on, when I was climbing the tower, I looked at my notes and was like, oh, wait, no, Ice Palace is in library. Well, hopefully there's not a sword there. And I felt okay seeing the cape in the big chest. I felt okay seeing a sword, inside there. And it's okay, just need 2 more of these bad boys to just not be attainable. And yeah, Tempered was attainable.
Yeah, I was saying it's the time as well that when you found the Ice Palace, this was probably going to be the moment where his heart just sinks when he finds that sword at Ice Palace.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I felt better about. Yeah.
But at the same time, though, you did manage to make some time elsewhere, and you actually just, from that deficit, despite doing Aghanim 1 with, like that, you actually came back and won this race, so that has to feel really good at the end of it.
It does feel. I've been saying, like, I really shouldn't complain too much, but. Like, because I did end up winning, but yeah, like, you know, it's just like. It's kind of like a mindset thing, you know, like the whole time, like you're just thinking I'm so far behind, I'm doing so bad, you know, I just like, I forgot about key stuff and like it just doesn't feel good. And then like it takes a while to like catch up with the fact that you like won the race, I guess. And like, so you still have the bad feeling, but you also have like, well, something positive happened at the end, I guess, that kind of, but yeah, it's weird. Rando's weird. I don't know why I'm doing this myself.
Yeah. Cross keys giveth and cross keys taketh away.
Exactly.
My only other question for you is, did you climb GT with the frog?
I did not climb it with the frog. I did not grab the frog before going into GT. So yeah, I only climbed GT. I did not do any. Yeah.
Got it. Oh, a missed opportunity to have the frog mimic the color palette of Aga 2, including disappearing when Aga teleports.
I didn't even notice that during the fight. That's actually a nice detail.
I was like, this is just the efficient way. Of course, mirroring out of the gauntlet was not efficient, and
no.
So that cost me like what, a couple minutes or something. I had to go get more arrows, and then, I mean, I probably lost 3 minutes right before last locating whatever I did before I went back for Thieves Town Big Chest, and following a connector on Dark Death Mountain just felt really slow. So cut those things out, and I'm kind of right with you. So to lose by 3 minutes felt kind of good. After this seed, would have loved to get the W for my team, but it is what it is. And
yeah,
I was really glad to see Wolflink was on comms, because your comms are always so good. You always are so excited about everything. You know? I hope you got. I hope chat was excited and listening to everything you were saying. So really appreciate you sticking around for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, yes, thank you indeed.
Yeah, GG on the solo comms, dude. Like having to solo com cross keys, that's rough. So yeah. All the credit in the world for you to do this, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time I solo commentated this season. I don't think it'll be the last. But yes, once again, folks, GG's to both our runners here. And yeah, Devil Remit, that at least that mirror transition, I thought you were out of arrows for the second mythic room. I didn't realize you got that far. But at least on the flip side, at least you only had to dig up like one on time, and you got your arrows that you needed.
Yeah, I was. You know, after the mirror, I was like, okay, maybe the climb is just dead, and I go to just do the Smith chain and all the other stuff. You know, flute opened up all the Meyer stuff, obviously, but did want to go back in. I'm not really sure if it was a trade-off, because all I got out of that was boots, and it took a long, you know, then it opens up all the boots checks, and they weren't actually required, except for logic.
Well, there was a small key, I believe, in the well, which was locked behind GT, so by the logic, it was required, and the sixth one was, I believe,
right.
It was either on the torch or somewhere else.
Pod key was, it was Quake on the climb, I think, and pod key in the well, and I was like, well, that's my 4th pod key, which is kind of nice when I do find pod eventually, but could have avoided one of the chests, but I would have felt real bad trying to find that 5th one, I guess, if I didn't have boots or have done the climb. So yeah, you're right. Glad I did the climb.
All right, so Tower Roomies, you are now 6-5 here. You're in a pretty decent position going forward here. Still a little bit more left in the league, but kind of in the back half of the pack at the same time. I mean, you Amish Paradise fall a little bit further behind. But you guys still have one more race this week to go, and that is, of course, going to be happening, I believe, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, featuring to be determined. It'll be your teammates Danny versus Plasma Kappa racing that one. So if you guys are a fan of these teams, look forward to that race tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be watching. Good luck to Danny, and you know, okay luck to Kappa.
And help.
And of course, folks, there's a little bit more racing action for us tonight here. So if you want to head over to SpeedGaming, we're about 40 minutes into Bottles Land Empty versus the Swamp Miners, Max and Vargas versus Telethar happening over there. And then, of course, that is if our invitational matches. Our open matches, though, we've got quite a few races here, including one that has only just started. Not even 10 minutes ago. Oh. We have the Long Shots versus Cowardly Dodgers. Dr. Earworm versus Homewrecker happening on the ALTTPR League. So make sure to follow ALTTPR and its subsidiaries. And of course, SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming 2 through 6. So you don't miss any racing action, not just the Link to Pass Randomizer League. And once again, folks, I can't stress this enough. Follow these two runners. They put on an excellent race for us tonight. Make sure to also follow my tracker Hif tonight for keeping those items up to date for us here. And you can drop me a follow as well. I'm a little bit tired here after doing this. So for all of us here at Link to Pass Randomizer League, I have been Wolfling0370, and we just see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, everyone.